which is written by Rupa Goswami and translated into English by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So we'll read the introduction part, preface part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is also called as Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion is a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is written by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. There were 6 Goswamis, and the chief among them was Rupa Goswami. And all the 6 Goswamis were direct disciples of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami are the 2 brothers, and Rupa Goswami, he was the one who first met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time, Rupa Goswami was appointed as a minister in the Mughal government, Mohammedan government. The Muslims were ruling India at that time. And Rupa Goswami was the minister there. And his brother Sanatan was also there, and both of them were working in the ministry of Mohammedan government. And both of them had to accept a Muslim religion. So their names were Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. So Dabir Khas was Rupa Goswami and Sakar Malik was Sanatan Goswami. Originally they were Brahmins, but then they were forcefully converted. And they held a very responsible position, a minister's position of Nawab Hussain Shah. So now 500 years ago, there were like a Hindu society, very rigid. And if now Rupa and Sanatan, they originally were like a Brahmin family, and at that time, if any Brahmana accepts the job of a Muslim ruler, then the Brahmin community will refuse them or reject them. So that's why they were outcasted. And the position of the 2 brothers, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik, that they were rejected by Brahmana families, Brahmana society. By birth, they were born in a very rich Saraswat Brahmin community, but then they were ostracized due to their acceptance of ministerial position in the government of Muslim ruler Nawab Hussain Shah. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed both of them, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Rupa and Sanatan, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik as his disciples. And they, from Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, the Goswami title was because they followed the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that's how they got the highest position in the Brahminical culture, which is the Goswami title. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had accepted a lot of disciples who were very wonderful devotees. One of them was Haridas Thakur, and Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then made him Namacharya, Acharya of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Haridas Thakur used to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he used to chant this mantra for 300,000 times every day, which usually takes around 22 hours actually. That's like a night and day he used to chant. So that's why Haridas Thakur is called Namacharya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, uh, he accepted anyone who knows the science of Krishna and engaged in the service of Krishna is accepted as being the higher position than the person born in family of a Brahmana. So that was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principle, that he never accepted anybody by birth as a Brahmana. He always said that a Vaishnava is higher than a Brahmana. So that is the original principle accepted by all Vedic literature, especially Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The principle of Lord Chaitanya's movement in educating and elevating everyone to the exalted position of Goswami is there in Nectar of Devotion. So if we read Nectar of Devotion, then we'll understand how one can be elevated to the position of Goswami. So these two brothers, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik, they met Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a place called as Ramakeli village in a district of Malda. This is village known as Malda village. And when this Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they met, uh, they decided that they were going to retire. When they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they decided that they will retire from the government service and they will join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time was traveling all over. He was a sannyasi at that time, and he was traveling and preaching Krishna consciousness all over. And Rupa and Sanatan were by nature actually, they were devotees. So they got attracted and they got attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and both of them decided that they will retire from the government service and serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Dabir Khas, who was later became the Rupa Goswami, he retired from his post, and whatever the money he collected, uh, he very nicely divided. It is described here in Chaitanya Charitamrita that savings in the gold coins equaled millions of dollars, and the gold coins are so many that it filled a large boat filled of gold coins when he retired. So then he divided the money in a very exemplary manner, which should be followed by the devotees in particular and by humanity in general. This is very important. So he divided his money in a very exemplary way. And what was that? So 50% of the money, that 50% of the gold coins, he distributed to the Krishna conscious persons, namely the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Then remaining 50% out of that, 25% he was distributed to his relatives, and 25% he kept for his emergency expenditure and personal difficulties. And later on, when Sakar Malik, which is Sanatan Goswami, wanted to retire, then the Nawab Hussain Shah was very much agitated, and he put Sanatan Goswami into the jail, Sakar Malik. But then Sakar Malik, who later became Sanatan Goswami, took advantage of his brother's personal money, which had been deposited into a village banker. And using that money, he escaped the prison of Nawab. So what he did is that whatever the 25% of the gold coin he kept as a personal saving, that money he used to bribe the jail guards, and then he escaped from that. So it's nice. He used the money to escape. And then Sanatan Goswami also joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So both of them, they started serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Rupa Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Prayag in Allahabad, India. I went there, Prayag, Allahabad. This is the Dashaswamegha Ghat. It's a beautiful place. There's a nice tree underneath. आप जाके आए? बहुत सुंदर मंदिर है वहाँ. तो वहाँ पे मंदिर के ट्री है, वहाँ पे चैतन्य महाप्रभु and Rupa Goswami met there. And then for the 10 days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Rupa Goswami, which is known as teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada also elaborated on the teachings of Lord with profound knowledge of revealed scriptures and authoritative references from various Vedic literature. Srila Srinivas Acharya describes in his prayers to six Goswami that all the six Goswamis were highly learned, and they were learned not only in the Sanskrit language but they also knew Persian and Arabic language actually. And that was true actually, and that is why Rup and Sanatan were appointed by the ministers, appointed by the Nawab Sain Shah as a minister, because he knew the local language, the Sanskrit language, and the Persian and Arabic language. So, which was their Muslim language, you know. So they were very intelligent. And Rup and Sanatan, they very scrutinizingly studied all the Vedic scriptures, Nana Shastra, all the types of Vedic literature they studied. And why they studied? Is so that they can establish the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the authority of Vedas actually. So current Srila Prabhupada's Krishna consciousness movement is also based upon Rupa Goswami's teachings. And therefore, we are known as Rupanugas. We all followers of Rupa Goswami actually. So the people who follow the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, they are called as Rupanugas. It is only for our guidance that Srila Rupa Goswami prepared this book called as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Rupa Goswami has taken reference from various Vedic literature while writing this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu book. So Nectar of Devotion. So persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness, they may take the advantage of this great literature and very solidly situated in Krishna consciousness. So if you want to really progress in bhakti very solidly, solidly means that like cannot be shaken, then we should read Bhakti Rasamrita. So here Prabhupada explains about bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhakti means devotional service. It is not just bhakti does not mean devotion. Most of the time people say devotion, but it is service also is important. There is a service seva. So bhakti यानी seva. Without seva there is no bhakti. So bhakti means seva with love, prema bhakti, prema seva. Every service has some attractive feature which drives servitor progressively on and on. So everybody is engaged in one or other type of service actually. And why everybody does service? Because there is some sort of a pleasure. The impetus is the pleasure. So a wife serves like a mother. Mother serves the children. Husband serves the whole family. Like that. A philanthropist serves the greater family. A nationalist will serve the country. In this way, people serve, everybody serves something or other. And the force which drives that philanthropist or householder or nationalist is called as rasa, or kind of a mellow or relationship. तो जब हम कोई सेवा करते हैं तो कोई आनंद मिलता है तभी सेवा होती है. जैसे कि माता पिता भी बच्चों की सेवा करते हैं तो उनको आनंद मिलता है. तो रस नहीं है तो फिर सेवा नहीं होती है, फिर तो वो जबरदस्ती हो जाता है. तो हम जब सेवा करते हैं भगवान की तो उसमें कोई रस आना चाहिए. तो जैसे कि प्रभुपाद जी थे, प्रभुपाद जी ने भगवान की सेवा की तो प्रभुपाद जी को आनंद मिलता था, इसलिए इतनी मेहनत करते थे बहुत सारे. तो भगवान की सेवा में भी एक आनंद है. एंड दैट टेस्ट इज वेरी स्वीट. तो रस जो है भक्ति रसामृत, रस जो है भक्ति रस. तो भक्ति रस ये क्या है? तो इसका यहाँ पे डेफिनेशन दिया है. तो भक्ति में रस यानी क्या? तो एक प्रकार का आनंद जो मिलता है उसको रस कहते हैं। तो भक्ति रस या क्या है, तो ये साधारण जो रस है उससे अलग है। हाँ, ऐसा इट इज़ नॉट लाइक अ रेगुलर प्लेजर, लाइक लोग गुलाब जामुन खाते हैं तो उसमें भी एक प्रकार का रस रहता है। लेकिन कोई ज़बरदस्ती गुलाब जामुन नहीं खाता है। ऐसा नहीं कि आपको गुलाब जामुन रख दिया और ऐसा कोई बोलता नहीं कि मुझे ज़बरदस्ती खाना पड़ा। लोग आनंद से गुलाब जामुन खाते हैं, पेट भरा है फिर भी खा जाते हैं एकदम, क्योंकि वो आनंद अलग है। ऐसे ही भक्ति का जो आनंद है वो अलग अलग प्रकार का आनंद है, ऐसा उसमें कोई प्रेशर नहीं है। सो कहते हैं प्रभुपाद जी यहाँ पे लिखते हैं कि मुंडेन वर्कर्स दे लेबर वेरी हार्ड डे एंड नाइट to release some kind of a rasa which is understood as sense gratification। हाँ। लोग भौतिक इंद्रियों के लिए बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, गधे के जैसा मेहनत करते हैं। The relish or a test of a mundane rasa does not long endure, and therefore mundane workers are always apt to change their position of enjoyment। तो जो साधारण लोग हैं वो हमेशा भाग दौड़ करते हैं। जैसे मुंबई में जाते हैं आप तो बहुत ट्रेन में इतनी गर्दी रहती है पूछो मत। टोरंटो में भी ऐसा ही है। मैं टोरंटो गया था, खड़ा रहने को जगह नहीं है हमारा, इतना गर्दी, लोग कहाँ भाग रहे हैं क्या मालूम नहीं। सो एवरीबडी इज रनिंग अराउंड फॉर सम सॉर्ट ऑफ मनी। A businessman is not satisfied by working whole week and therefore they want weekend। छुट्टी वीकेंड में जाते हैं कहीं भी, रिसोर्ट में जाएंगे, इधर जाएंगे उधर जाएंगे, तो उनका वीकेंड अलग रहता है। यहाँ पे भी लोग कैंपिंग में जाते हैं, क्या पैसा खर्चा समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या करते हो लोग। A businessman is not satisfied working whole week, therefore they wanting a change for the weekend they go to a place where he tries to forget his business activities, and then after the weekend is spent in forgetfulness he again changes his position and resumes the actual business activity। Material engagement means accepting a particular status for some time and then changing it। This position of changing back and forth is technically known as भोग एंड त्यागा। हाँ, तो लोग हमारे हॉस्पिटल में भी ऐसे ही है। लोग बोलते हैं कि फ्राइडे कभी आएगा, अभी फ्राइडे आ गया तो सैटरडे संडे की राह देखते हैं, फिर सैटरडे संडे आ गया तो मंडे को बोलते हैं अरे वापस काम पे जाना पड़ेगा। किसी को काम करना अच्छा नहीं लगता है। तो भोग और त्याग, तो भोगने का और त्याग करने का, ऐसा उनका, which means that a position of alternating sense enjoyment and renunciation। A living entity cannot steadily remain either in sense enjoyment or renunciation। The change is going on perpetually and cannot be happy in either state because of our eternal constitutional position। Sense gratification does not endure for long and it is therefore called as chapala sukha or flickering happiness। तो चपल सुख यानी क्या, तो थोड़ी देर अच्छा लगता है फिर वो बोर हो जाते हैं, फिर बोलते हैं अभी ये दूसरा कुछ चाहिए हमें, तीसरा कुछ चाहिए। तो ऐसा, तो इनका जो चपल सुख लब लागिरे, हाँ भजहु रे मन श्री नंद नंदन अभय चरण अरविंद। तो बहुत सुंदर भजन है। तो उसमें कहता है लोगों को चपल सुख की बहुत आदत हो गई है। आज एक मूवी देखा तो फिर कल दूसरा मूवी, तो तीसरा मूवी, तो ऐसा। An ordinary family man who works very hard day and night is successful in giving comforts to the family members to the members of his family, and he relishes some kind of a pleasure, mellow. But his whole advancement of material happiness immediately terminates along with the body as soon as life is over। Death is therefore taken as a representative of God for atheist class of man। The devotee, on the other hand, he realizes the presence of God by devotional service, whereas the atheist realizes the presence of God in the shape of death। At death, everything is finished, and one has to begin a new chapter of the life in a new situation, perhaps higher or lower than the last one। In any field of activity, either political, social, national, or international, the result of our actions will be finished with the end of this life. That is for sure. Bhakti rasa, however, the mellow released in the transcendental lovings of the Lord does not finish with the end of the life. तो भगवान भगवद गीता में भी कहते हैं कि अर्जुन जब पूछते हैं कि जो जो योगी है उसने 8वें अध्याय में कि जो योगी अपना योग की भक्ति पूरा नहीं कर सकता है तो क्या होता है, तो भगवान कहते हैं वो पुनः नेक्स्ट जन्म में उसको वापस कोई अच्छे घर में जन्म मिलता है। तो यही प्रभुपाद जी यहाँ पे लिखते हैं कि जो भक्ति हम करते हैं वो उसका कोई अंत नहीं है। इट डजंट फिनिश विद लाइफ। अगर इस जन्म में हमने थोड़ी भक्ति की आज, अगले जन्म में उसके आगे चालू हो जाएगा। तो ये परपेचुअली कंटिन्यू होता है, उसको कहते हैं अमृत। हाँ, अमृतम यानी क्या, जो इसका नाश नहीं है। तो भक्ति रस अमृत, तो समझ में आ गया ना। तो भक्ति यानी डिवोशन, रस यानी एक प्रकार का आनंद, और आनंद जो खत्म नहीं होने वाला है वो उसको कहते हैं अमृत। तो भक्ति रस अमृत। और सिंधु, सिंधु यानी समुद्र, इतना आनंद मिलेगा हमेशा के लिए कि पूछो ही मत, उसको कहते हैं भक्ति रस अमृत। तो अमृत दैट विच डज नॉट डाई बट एग्जिस्ट इटर्नली, दिस इज कंफर्म्ड इन ऑल वैदिक लिटरेचर। भगवद गीता में भी ये कहा गया है कि a little advancement in bhakti rasa can save the devotee from a greatest danger. And what is that danger? Missing the opportunity of a human life. तो हम थोड़ी भी भक्ति करेंगे तो अगले जन्म मनुष्य जन्म मिलना तो पक्का है, फिर तो नहीं तो जानवर का जन्म मिल सकता है। The rasa is derived from our feeling in social life, in our family life, or in the greater family of altruism, philanthropy, nationalism, socialism, etc., that do not guarantee that in the next life it will be human being. This is a great advantage actually, कि भक्ति में आपको मनुष्य जन्म मिलना पक्का है, लेकिन अगर बाकी के कोई रस प्रकार के रस का आनंद लेते रहेंगे आप, तो आपको मनुष्य जन्म मिलेगा उसको कोई गारंटी नहीं है। तो कहते हैं वी प्रिपेयर अवर नेक्स्ट लाइफ बाय अवर एक्चुअल एक्टिविटीज इन द प्रेजेंट लाइफ। ये बात भी सही है कि ये जन्म है वही अगले जन्म की तैयारी है। तो इस जन्म में हम जो कार्य करेंगे उसके ऊपर हमें अगला जन्म में जो शरीर मिलना है वो मिलेगा। Living entities offered a particular type of body as a result of his action in the present body. These activities are taken into account by superior authority known as, तो कौन है जो ये डिसाइड करता है, तो दैव और द अथॉरिटी ऑफ गॉड। तो ये दैव क्या है, तो ये दैव ये भगवान की एक शक्ति है, और इट इज एक्सप्लेन्ड इन भगवद गीता as a prime cause of everything, and in Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated that a man takes his next body by दैव नेत्रेण। हाँ, ये भी भगवद गीता में भी यही शब्द है, दैव नेत्रेण, which means that supervision of authority of supreme. In an ordinary sense, दैव is explained as destiny. डेस्टिनी लोग बोलते हैं ना कि मेरे नसीब में क्या लिखा है, इसको डेस्टिनी, डेस्टिनी यानी क्या, तो डेस्टिनी नसीब कैसे तैयार होता है, तो हमारे कर्मों से ही नसीब तैयार होता है ना। कुछ कहते हैं मेरे नसीब में क्या लिखा है, सब बुरा ही लिखा है, तो ये कोई ऐसे कर्म है तो उसे वो नसीब बनता है। और कोई अच्छा नसीब है, कुछ लोग हैं कि जहाँ हाथ डाले उनको सक्सेस मिलता है, तो उसका अच्छा नसीब है क्योंकि उसने कोई अच्छा कर्म किया है। तो ये दैव डेस्टिनी कहता है। दैव सुपरविजन गिव्स अस द as a body selected from 8,400,000, 84 lakh yoni. The choice does not depend on our selection, but it is awarded to us according to our destiny. तो हर एक को अपने नसीब का कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाता है, जब नसीब में लिखा है तो मिलेगा। तो if our body at the present is engaged in activities of Krishna consciousness, then it is guaranteed that, बहुत सुंदर वाक्य है, that will at least get a human body in the next life. अगर भगवान की भक्ति करते हैं तो मनुष्य जन्म तो पक्का कर लिया है हमने, अगले जन्म में मनुष्य जन्म तो मिलेगा ही, लेकिन उसमें भी अलग अलग प्रकार के मनुष्य जन्म है. A human being engaged in Krishna consciousness, even if unable to complete the course of Bhakti Yoga, takes the birth. तो कहाँ पे मिलेगा जन्म अगला हमें? In the higher division of human society, so that it can automatically further advance in Krishna consciousness. तो ऐसा जन्म मिलेगा हमें अगले जन्म में कि हमारी जो भक्ति अधूरी रह गई समझो, तो अगले जन्म में वहाँ हम कंटिन्यू कर पाएंगे. Therefore, all bona fide activities in Krishna consciousness are amrita और परमानेंट. दिस इज द सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन. बहुत सुंदर है. तो हम जो अभी कर रहे हैं क्या है? तो हम जो सेवा कर रहे हैं ये अमृत सेवा है. क्यों? क्योंकि ये कभी इसका नाश नहीं होने वाला है. हमें इसका अगले जन्म में कुछ ना कुछ तो एडवांटेज मिलने वाला है. इस जन्म में भी मिल रहा है, भगवान की सेवा मिल रही है. तो बहुत सुंदर लिखा है प्रभुपाद जी ने. तो यहाँ पे हम पॉज करेंगे, फिर आगे पढ़ते रहेंगे. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. गौर प्रेमानंद.